A recent comment on the channel made me think a little bit upon the subject of enjoying spirits while in a fat loss phase. I mean, there's plenty of videos out there on this already, but I just wanted to add my own spin to it, I guess. So, from kind of an objective health point of view, drinking while dieting is a bad idea, right? Alcohol is at best empty calories. It's also kind of a poison, technically. It's mildly catabolic. So none of that looks particularly good. And a lot of the other videos you will see out there are more about like mitigating the negative impacts more so than thinking about positive contribution. This video is I'm gonna try to do that. Where is there a role for a nice bottle of spirits in a weight loss program? All right. To talk about this, I'm going to go over the rudiments of fat loss dieting. Disclaimer: I am not a nutritionist. I am not a doctor. I am someone with a fair bit of firsthand experience in this. Right now, I'm very very fat and happy. I will get back into shape at some point. Right now, I have a whole bunch of small children running around, and I'm just enjoying eating like crap and having fun with them. Anyhow, so before I even start about the basics, I have to work through a couple of assumptions. First, if you are doing a fat loss diet, I'm assuming you have some kind of goal in mind, and that it is achievable. If you say to me, I don't feel good about myself, man. I want to lose some weight. Okay, good. Give me some numbers. Let's put some meat on that. I don't know. I'll know when I'm there. I just want to lose some weight. No, stop. This is the wrong way to go about it. Let me tell you a little secret. You know that ugly feeling of anxiety and discontent? That does not go away. At least it doesn't go away by changing the number on the scale. There's never going to be a time when you kind of look in the mirror and are happy with yourself just through fat loss dieting. It's not going to happen. It's the truth. I'm really sorry. Took me a while to learn that. Now, and you're just gonna have to make peace with yourself. So don't go in without like an end point. Don't the endless diet is a bad idea. Even if you get to if you're in the middle and things are getting tough and the diet is feeling endless and it actually is endless, you're gonna break. It's much better to be in a position where you can say, "Oh, geez, it's this is tough, but I'm 6 weeks in. My numbers are kind of where I want them to be. I only have another 2 weeks until I get a vacation, a little bit of a rest week. I'm not going to mess up my goals. I'm going to hold on until then." That's easier to do. So pick a goal. It can be a number. It can be a date. Ideally, it can be both. If it's particularly ambitious and long term, break that up into sub goals and think about metrics. Think about putting in breaks for yourself. If life is gonna get in the way at some point. So figure out how you can schedule your breaks and stuff around life to still get things to work. Now, I will say, for a lot of people, I think more than we would like to admit, like an actual full blown fat loss diet, it might just be like they're not going to have time for it. Like a lot of people, again, more people than I would like, and I think this is just a symptom of kind of life in America in particular. Dieting takes planning and it takes time, and a lot of people just don't have that to give. And if that's you, like what I would say is you can do what you can with the lack of time that you have. Start by trying to drink like 3 glasses of water a day. Start with just that. Try to eat an extra serving of a protein-rich food, one per day. Like an extra serving of some kind of leafy, fiber-rich vegetable. Something colorful. Try to take a walk, like 10-minute walks twice a day. Start there. If you get ambitious, set up a short little stool next to your bed and make doing just some body weight box squats part of your bedtime routine. These things aren't going to take time, but if you can get in a routine, get them going for a month and a half, they will make a difference, and you can kind of just build things up a little bit from there. Anyhow, so I'm going to assume you have a goal and that it is actually achievable, and that when you actually start putting the diet together, that you are picking foods that you like, and then you're not just going to completely change your life to make it match this thing. You're just kind of adjust what you're doing in a healthier direction. I am so assuming all of that, and you can be doing strict calorie counting or something that kind of gets you in the right range. You are intelligent people. You can read about this stuff. Anyways, assuming all of that, what does the basics of a fat loss diet look like? I mean, I'm gonna steal this. I think you should break a fat loss diet up into basically three. Sharpie is dying, but oh well. Basically, your food is doing three different roles. The first is basically physiological need. So here, we're going to start here. Physiological need. What is this? This is protein. Oh, I should say, so I'm going to assume you've already got some kind of exercise plan in place. It's unless you were a world-class athlete, in which case, why are you watching this video? You probably aren't going to be able to exercise your way into a calorie deficit, an energy deficit, significant enough to lose a lot of weight. And if you have a crappy diet, like no amount of exercise is going to save you. Sorry. But exercise can enormously improve the quality of a fat loss diet. What I mean by that, cardio, don't think of it as a way to lose more weight. Think of it as a way to make yourself happy. Like you should feel like good after a brisk walk or a bike ride, or if you were not self-conscious enough to avoid swimming feels great. I mean, and it should. And after doing that for a few minutes, you should just feel more human. Strength training, resistance training is great for keeping the weight loss on the side of fat loss. It is absolutely no fun to have like loss of lean tissue. That sucks. That sucks a lot. Again, speaking from experience, I have hopefully learned a little bit with time. Just maybe two times a week, go in and throw some weights around, do a full body workout. That will do an enormous amount to basically push the weight loss in the fat loss direction rather than the tissue loss direction. And that will keep you from looking like a famine victim, a couple weeks in. So I'm going to assume you've got that in order. So physiological need, protein. You should be eating a lot of protein because that kind of plays the same role as weights training. It preserves lean tissue. The old bodybuilder heuristic of a gram of protein per pound of body weight per day seems pretty. It's probably overestimating for most people, but it's safe. There's no penalty for like eating too much protein, so that sounds pretty good. Start there. What else do you need? You need micronutrients. Micros, essential fats. I wish I had a whiteboard or something. I didn't think this far through. Vitamins, minerals, fiber. Fiber often goes hand in hand with all the micronutrient stuff. So basically, the physiological needs does what it says in the tin. This is the stuff that's there to keep you from dying, and to keep you like pooping happily. So I mean, just to give you some idea, if you take a big old slab of salmon, yeah, let's go with like good old Atlantic salmon. Throw it in a pan, saute it with some light olive oil. Throw some broccoli in there. Squirt some lemon all over it. Get some salt and pepper, some herbs, nice calorie-free flavorings, and then just for fun, like take like a couple of walnuts, crunch them up, sprinkle them into the broccoli. What you got there, probably, with the exception of maybe a little bit more fiber and a little bit more protein, that pretty much clears your basic nutritional requirements for the day. Now, I mean, you could ask, and it's a fair question. Well, why not just make your diet that? Why not just eat, why not just eat, what you physiologically need, and then you will like lose weight that much faster, right? Because this is, I mean, at a basic human nutritional needs, you're only getting up to maybe 1,000 calories, 1,200 for most people. The problem is that's a bad. Why it's a bad idea is because you will break very quickly. It's if your fat loss, weight loss needs are very, very, very short term. I'm talking like you need to fit into a particular outfit by Friday. Maybe that's not the worst idea in the world. Yeah, sure, go on the 1,200 calorie crash diet. But if you have any like longer term goals, don't do it. That is what the other two categories are for. The second category I'm going to call psychological need. We'll talk about that in a second. And then there's filler. Filler. Filler is basically going to be high satiety foods. So, satiety food. Sorry, my handwriting is terrible. And again, I didn't really plan this out in advance. So this is going to look different for different people. So again, you can throw more fiber and more protein in there. There's no penalty for that. But along with that should come some delicious and occasionally healthy fat, and some carbs bundled up with healthy other good stuff, and that can look different for different people. For me, I found that going with like a gigantic steak or something with some more green veggies and colorful vegetables on the side, that seems to work. So and maybe some avocado, stuff like that. So protein accompanied with delicious fats, fiber accompanied by delicious fats. That seems to work, has worked really well for me in the past, but other people are going to find more success with like say more carby sorts of stuff. Get some beans. Oh my God, beans are amazing on a diet. You can cook them a zillion different ways, flavor them a million different ways. The macros are amazing. Beans are spectacular. Bulky, starchy vegetables, potatoes, that kind of thing. So you can fill out the idea. So basically, there's going to be filling foods that are going to fill up your belly nice and full and make you sort of not feel hungry all the time. Feel content, because once you get into week 2 or so, It sucks to feel hungry. Like it does, and the more you can just take care of that with the way you're with the quality of your food, of what is going in your mouth, the better. Because trying to put it on willpower doesn't work very well, and you will break. So try to fill up your belly with the food that is best suited for doing so. But that leaves that middle category, what I'm calling psychological need. This is probably both overestimated and underestimated in its importance to dieting, depending on who you're talking to. This is the stuff that makes you feel happy, gets you through the day because you know at the end you got this. It's not going to be much in terms of actual like caloric intake. You're talking, I would say, no more than 200 calories for most people. You could probably cut it down even more than that. But this is something that just makes you happy, that kind of brightens your day a little bit and makes you remember that you're a human being. And there's really two requirements for this. First, it has to be yummy. It has to make you happy. I'm going to put that. But it also has to be, I had to struggle for a word for this. I'm going to call it fulfilling. Okay. It has to be yummy. And this is pretty easy. But it also has to be fulfilling. There has to be an intensity to this. You have to feel like after you're done with the little portion that you're consuming, that you've just had something awesome, and you could have more, but you don't really need to. You feel like you haven't had a complete experience. So for me, a lot of the time, this was dark chocolate. Like 3 squares of dark chocolate, like it made me happy. It put a smile on my face, and it was intense, super intense. And I could have totally like eaten the entire bar, absolutely. But I felt like I didn't need to. I felt like nothing was pushing me in that direction. So that is something, that's an example for me of something that is yummy, but also fulfilling. So as a counterexample, mac and cheese is absolutely yummy, but there's never a moment really feel like I could absolutely stop eating the mac and cheese here and be happy. It's food where you just want to kind of keep shoveling in your mouth. M&Ms, peanut butter cups, a lot of other things are kind of like that. They're yummy, but they don't have that kind of intensity that makes it feel like you can kind of just be done with a little bit. Anyways, by now your intelligence, you probably have an idea where I'm taking this. This is exactly where spirits can play a role, because the psychological needs category, it isn't contributing anything to your basic nutritional requirements. It isn't helping with the fat loss directly. It isn't really good at filling your belly, your belly up. All it's doing is making you happy and make you look forward to the end of the day and the day after that, because you can enjoy it just a little bit more. By the way, nothing here needs to be super consistent from day to day. I'm not telling you to have a shot of something every day. I'm telling you can have it in the things you can reach for. Put it that way. So it has to be yummy, and it has to be like just super duper fulfilling. And I think spirits can fill this role very, very, very well. Again, a lot of the videos out there are thinking of just drinking regular old booze. I don't think that's the way to do it. I think if you are on a fat loss diet, what you need to do is to find that bottle that is so good and so beautiful, it kind of makes you cry a little bit that it's so good. And something where you've almost hesitated to dip into it because you just don't want to be without it. That is the bottle you want to dip for when you're on a fat loss diet. You just put a little bit in. and you just enjoy, as best you can to remind you that you're a human being. Incidentally, this is the original Hampden Overproof. It's 60% alcohol, which is roughly 100 calories per ounce. I poured myself 50 here. And I'm going to enjoy it. So yeah, those are my thoughts on spirits while alcohol dieting. They, don't. You already know not to go on a binge. You know this. Don't treat spirits as a cheat. They aren't. They count. They need to go in your calorie total like everything else. But they are playing a role. And the role is very particular. It's this. It's this right here. It needs to fulfill the psychological need of making you feel like a human being. If it does that, as well as dark chocolate, a really, really achingly good ice cream, or whatever does it for you, then that's great. It's helping you towards that progress. That's all I have to say. Thanks for watching. I hope some of this babble was helpful. None of this is like in a textbook. This is something I made. I kind of found myself doing for myself years and years back when I was actually had health as a major priority in my life. Right now, I'm just trying to take care of the kids. Thanks for watching and cheers.